All right, welcome back inside our proactive newsroom. And joining me now is David Rhodes. He is the managing director of Endeavour Financial and the executive chairman of Empress Royalty. And David, it's good to see you. How are you?
All good, Steve. Thank you. Hopefully you're good as well.
Yeah, doing very well, and excited to have you on, talk a little bit about what you do and what your company does, and obviously the connection you have to Empress Royalty and the work you're doing with them. But let's take a step back and let's talk about you first. Give me a bit of information on your background. It's quite extensive. Been around a very long time, doing a lot of good things.
That's kind of what you say. So 25 years plus. I kind of, after 25 years, you blend it, 25 years plus. So in the mining sector, so financial, banking, investment bank was my background. Barclays Capital, Standard Bank, and then over 18 years now, been working for Endeavour Financial, and we bought the company when it became Endeavour Mining. We took it private out to Endeavour Mining. So Endeavour Financial, the global advisory firm, is a business I run, and we do a lot of financings in the marketplace, and that's really how Empress was born. Just to give you a background, we do a lot of major financings as Endeavour Financial. We saw a shortfall in the small junior sector in the royalty streaming space, and we said, hey, there's no one in that space. And that's when we set up Empress to really fill that gap, to do the small sub $25 million streams and royalties.
Let's talk about Endeavour itself. So you in essence, people come to you looking for support, looking for guidance, things like that. Is it a full service company that you're running?
It is. So if you are a mid-tier junior mining company and you're looking to develop a project anywhere in the world, obviously certain places excluded, as they are for all of us, we will arrange and find the financing for that company and that management team. So we really source all that financing, and ranging from small to very large numbers. As you imagine, the base metal mines are in the billions, the gold mines are more in the hundreds of millions. So we do that as our daily workload as that business.
Yeah, David, I guess relationships are super important in the business that you're in. Is that the fact that you need to have sort of, to be able to raise that kind of capital, you have to know a lot of people?
You know a lot of people, but also you can imagine we're as a business, a lot of faith's put in our business. So your company, you've got shareholders, you got to develop an asset. You need people you can trust, people you can work with and deliver that solution, that financing solution, and that's what we do.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of relationships and a lot of trust put in our business to deliver those solutions.
Absolutely. And then obviously, as you mentioned, you saw a bit of a gap and something that needed to be filled. And that's where the story of Empress really began. And what was the initial thoughts about Empress, about what type of jurisdictions, what type of metals, what the company was going to look for? Or was it really sort of an open book?
It wasn't. I mean, we spent a lot of time kind of working through the strategy, and precious metals, gold, silver, were always our number one target. I know people love battery metals and obviously the flavor, the critical metals and the flavor of those months. But from a pure streaming and royalty perspective, it's been done before. It's tried and tested. You've got the Wheaton precious metals. The bigger guys have done it for years. And it became something which is tried and tested. There's a valuation in the marketplace for those kind of precious metal royalties and streams. So it became easy for us as a financing business to be able to value that and look at the value we create if you look at precious metals. Additionally, when we did our research, there's a huge number of opportunities in the precious metal space. There aren't that many critical metals. There aren't that many battery metal developers out there. So we had a huge potential base for precious metals. And then, as I said, from a business perspective, a huge number of small to medium-sized companies needing that extra bit of capital. Equity, obviously, is always tough to come by. The market opens and closes, more closed at the moment. Debt financing are troublesome. We've also got to pay back debt pretty quick. And that puts pressure on the business. While a stream and royalties are a long-term obligation. And therefore, it fits nicely between equity and debt as a capital instrument. And that's where, from the Empress point of view, we've got a pretty niche market.
And for people who may not understand, David, as far as streams and royalties are concerned, there are a number of companies around the world, in fact, many companies around the world, that have these little assets within the company who are just sort of sitting there not realizing any value. And I guess that's for someone like you have an opportunity to look at hundreds and hundreds of companies just to find the right one that fits with Empress.
Correct. Yeah, and you've got kind of lots of sources. I mean, as a business, if you need money, you come to Endeavour to see if we could find you the money. So we have a natural flow of business every week. I won't say daily because it's not that big a market, but every week we get people coming and say, hey, can you raise us money? Can you provide this? So a natural flow comes through Endeavour Financial. And then obviously as Empress has grown, and we've done deals, we're becoming successful, people are reaching out to us directly as well, so that helps. And then we've got the team of Empress who are out there knocking on the doors and looking for transactions and deals to be done.
Yeah, good flow. And I was going to ask you about that lastly, David. Are you happy where Empress is right now in the amount of royalties and streams it has? And do you see the opportunity that really lies ahead in the next 6 months to a year for the company?
Yes, certainly am. So one thing, and this is something I think investors got to realize, we're building a long-term sustainable business here. We're not, and we create royalties. So we go to mining companies, we look to create value. We say, okay, you need the money to expand, you need the money to develop. We've got the money. So we create a relationship with them. We have an agreement formed. We do our due diligence, and obviously we invest the money with them. That takes time. Additionally, with the due diligence and the process, sometimes it's a no. So we go back and look at other opportunities in that sense. So we are not a weekly or monthly press release. We've bought this, we've done this. That's not our style. Our style is building a very successful cash flow generative business. At the moment, obviously, we're looking at projections this year of around $7.5 million US of income. We've only been around 2 and a bit years. So I think that's pretty successful. And we're looking to replicate that. But we're not going to suddenly go from the royalty base we are to triple it within a year. That's not our style. It's slow, steady, prudent management of the investors and shareholders' money.
Yeah, sometimes slow and steady wins the race, right? There you go.
Hey, we've all looked at crypto. I know you probably all went, oh, we should have been there, and it's come down a bit. So we call in hindsight, yes, but obviously we're not about hindsight. We're using about our 20 years, in my case, plus years of experience. The team has got a lot of experience as well, using those financial skills to create good value for the business, not short-term wins.
Yeah. David, thank you so much. Great to catch up with you and find out about Empress, and I'll see what you're doing in Endeavour as well. And we look forward to talking again. Okay.
Pleasure. Thanks, Steve. Thanks for your time.
All right. There's David Rhodes. He's the managing director of Endeavour Financial and also the executive chairman of Empress Royalty.